A lucky goal and a phantom free kick has kept Celtic's 100% winning start to the season intact. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Celtic traded, getting scalped 7-1 at the Yellow Wall for sneaking over the line at Dingwall. They defeated Ross County by 2-1 today. They left it late. They didn't play well, but I guess that is a sign of champions, and it was Kuhn that got the winning goal. What a season he is having, and what an important goal that could be. Just when it looked like Celtic were about to drop points, they end up getting all three. So congratulations to them. Feel bad though for Ross County. Don't think they deserved to lose that game. They put a lot into it. They sat very deep in the second half. They soaked up a lot of pressure, and it's ironically the one time where they really got forward. That's what cost them, and they ended up conceding the second goal. So maybe they should have just sat back. Maybe they should have parked the bus. But, you know, they tried to get forward. They tried to be adventurous, and in the end, it has cost them a point here against Celtic. Anyway, I'm sure for the majority of that game, Aberdeen were licking their lips at the prospect of being able to go top of the table. But now they'll be licking their wounds as they need to get a win against Hearts to remain level with the champions. But we'll talk about the game. Let's get into it. First half an hour. I mean, nothing really to talk about. Celtic were awful, created nothing going forward. Toothless. Just a really poor game from them. And Schmeichel was the only keeper that was forced into making saves in like the first 35 minutes. Laidlaw had nothing to do. Celtic obviously were dominating the possession. They were getting the ball into the Ross County final third, but they just offered nothing. Ida up front is garbage. I said this when Celtic signed him. It was a waste of money, and I'm being proven right. You look at this guy up front. He offers nothing. The difference when Kyogo comes on, it is night and day. Even when Kyogo isn't scoring goals or getting assists, you know, his movement, his pace, his runs, he can just cause defences problems, and he can open up defences, and it allows the rest of the players to get involved. Ida at times is just stationary up there and honestly not offering a lot. So, I mean, it's no surprise to me that Celtic looked a lot better in the second half when they replaced Ida with Kyogo. But anyway, like I said, first half, Celtic didn't really offer anything. Handball for Scales, and based on what we've seen this season, this is 100% a penalty. I don't want to hear any excuses because we've seen a similar incident where this was given 100% a penalty. So this also has to be a penalty. Simple as that. Scales is complaining, but he's got nothing really to complain about. His hand's out in an unnatural position and it blocks the cross. Has to be a penalty. How does Schmeichel react to this? Pathetically. He starts scuffing up the penalty spot. I mean, really, does Celtic need any more advantages? Does Schmeichel really need to be scuffing up the Ross County penalty spot before a penalty? Anyway, it wasn't the greatest penalty from Hale. It's saved by Schmeichel. Turns out Schmeichel was off his line. I'm seeing a lot of people saying this is ridiculous. He was on his line. I don't know what you're watching, but I mean, he was clearly 2 yards off his line. So the correct decision was for it to be retaken. And on the second attempt, it was a great strike for Hale into the bottom left-hand corner. And yeah, I mean, Schmeichel didn't even move. He was rooted to the spot. I mean, at least he stayed on the line this time. But yeah, Hale got the goal. Is what it is. Nisbet then tested Schmeichel again late towards the end of the first half. And Ross County went into the half-time with a deserved lead, in my opinion, because at least they got forward. At least they were asking questions of Schmeichel. Outside of the penalty, they never had anything real in terms of opportunities, but they had a few shots on target, and that's more than what Celtic had. So, I mean, Ross County deservedly in front going into the break. And Ross County started the second half pretty well for like the opening 5 minutes. But then we just seen them sit back and Celtic came forward. Celtic made subs and it definitely benefited them as soon as Kyogo came on. Celtic began to put the pressure on. Ross County just sat deeper and deeper and deeper. And you felt like it was only going to be a matter of time before Celtic would get a goal just because of the constant pressure that they were on. Now, Kuhn was booked for a coming together with one of the county players. There was a VAR check for a red card, and this isn't a red card. There was nothing in it. I mean, they're pushing heads, and maybe Kuhn's the one that initiates it, but, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's grown men at the end of the day. You can't be given a red card for that, so he got a yellow in the end. which, I guess that's one thing. I'd rather see him get a yellow than a red because, there's not, like, sometimes we do see players legitimately headbutt, but, this wasn't that. It was literally when two players are, like, pushing each other's head against each other, and, he got a yellow card. Is what it is. But, yeah, I don't think it was a red, so I think VAR got that one correct. Johnston gave the ball away. Hale tried to put a screamer in for 40 yards. He had Schmeichel beaten, but the ball was just over the bar. Then we had McGregor with a shot for the probably 20-yard line. He fired it wide of the post, but there was signs that Celtic were beginning to look a little bit more dangerous. There was then good link-up from Maeda and Hatate. Really good. Hatate plays a 1-2 with Maeda. Maeda's through on goal. Maeda gets a shot off. Laidlaw makes a save. There was a VAR check for a penalty here, but FT actually got the ball, so there wasn't much, but you could see that he literally just got something on it. So for me, not a penalty. Plus, Maeda had already got his shot away, so it's not like the challenge prevented or put Maeda off from scoring. But anyway, he got the ball, so correct decision here. No pen. Forrest came on, and Forrest looked lively. He looked like he was maybe going to be the one to get Celtic back into the game. He was creating chances. He was having shots. His movement was pretty good. He just looked threatening in front of goal. So Forrest looked pretty good. Then Celtic do get the equaliser. For a corner, Laidlaw makes a save initially. It falls to McGregor. McGregor shoots. The ball's going wide. It hits Johnston's thigh and deflects into the back of the net. Now, if this was meant by Johnston, then you know what? It's a nice wee touch. But he came out in the post-match interview and he admitted that he was trying to get out the way of the ball. He says that he wasn't trying to score, he was trying to move it the way of the shot that was actually going off target. So, very lucky here, very fortunate. Johnston gets the goal, is what it is, but yeah, just sad for Ross County. Then Celtic make it 2-1. Celtic were huffing and puffing, but honestly, man, there was nothing really clear-cut. I thought it was going to finish a draw. Ross County then committed bodies forward with maybe 5 minutes to go. I don't know why they were being so adventurous, but they were putting bodies forward. Referee blows for a foul on Luke McCowan. I didn't see nothing in it. I don't know why a foul's been given here. Celtic take it quick. Ross County have got men up. Johnston plays a great ball through to Kuhn. Kuhn then cuts inside. Great bit of movement there. Defenders nowhere near him. And then he finishes it lovely into the bottom left-hand corner. Puts it past Laidlaw. Great goal. Then he celebrates in front of the crowd, celebrates with the fans, which I think is fair enough because you've just scored the winner to keep your 100% record going, to keep you top of the league. It's a passionate moment. Obviously, you're going to be celebrating like that. Now, Chris Boyd in the studio did say that this should have been a second yellow card, and Coombe was already on a yellow card, but I looked at the rules, and I believe it's up to the referee's discretion whether he wants to award a yellow card for this. Now, if you take your shirt off, then that's an automatic yellow. I think the referee has to give you a yellow for taking your shirt off, but if you celebrate in front of the crowd or if you celebrate in the crowd, I believe that it's up to the referee. So Kuhn could have got a second yellow here. He could have been sent off, but he didn't have to be sent off. He didn't have to get a yellow according to the rules. So, it is what it is. Would it have made a difference? I don't think so. Even if Kuhn gets sent off at this point, Celtic probably hold on and win the game anyway, so I don't think it made that much of a difference. But then Ross County obviously committed bodies forward. Should have had a free kick late on, but for some reason, referee didn't give it, and there was a lot more contact here than there was on the foul that he gave against Luke McCowan moments ago. So it's just consistency in football. But it is what it is, guys. Celtic won, Ross County lost. Celtic are top of the table. They will remain top of the table to finish the weekend. They will go into the international break, top of the table. And Aberdeen's chance to, get in front, get into the lead, get top, is gone. But it is what it is. Brendan Rodgers, though, came out after the game. He said, quote, "I've got to be pleased. 7 games in 23 days. We've won 6, playing absolutely fantastic. We've lost 1 against the Champions League finalists, which we'll learn from. We showed a great resilience and mentality in the second half. First half there wasn't a lot happening. We had a lot of the ball, but it was very slow, too passive, no real tempo in it. We looked like we wanted an easy game, and that's not what this team's about. Second half, we were very good, especially with the introduction of players coming in to give us that energy. We deserved to win the game, but we want to win it in the best way. First half, we didn't quite do that. Last weekend, St Johnstone was a tough game, but our energy was good the right way through. We learned today that there are no easy games, especially on the back of a European tie. End of quote. Right, first of all, I'm going to disagree with Rodgers. I don't think Celtic did deserve to win the day. I think a draw would have been a fairer result, so Celtic were shite. Now, they were better second half, but let's not pretend like they were amazing second half. I mean, Ross County sat back, and of course they're going to give Celtic the ball. Of course Celtic are going to have possession. They're 1-0 down. They're the best team in the league. They're chasing the game. That's what you would expect. But in terms of like clear-cut chances and in terms of opportunities created, Celtic honestly did not have much in that second half. So I disagree with Rodgers. And also, he was quick to point out, and this is Rodgers and Clement, he was quick to point out that, oh, we've only lost 1 out of these 7 games, and it was against the Champions League finalists at Dortmund. He's making it sound like it's okay losing 7-1 because it's a Champions League finalist. Well, that'd be like Don Cowie coming out and saying, well, it's alright, we only lost 2-1 because we're taking on the Scottish champions. We're taking on a team with a lot more finances than us. If you look at the finances, if you look at the gulf between County and Celtic, it's a lot bigger than the gulf between Celtic and Dortmund. So I'm just sick of these managers, making excuses. They want to make the excuses when it comes to finances, when they're playing the European ties against the big teams, but then when it comes to the domestic league, there's no mention of finances. I mean, how can Rodgers blame the money against Dortmund, but then when it comes to today, he's like, oh, we deserve to win. He should be embarrassed. If he's going off the same logic that he was using in Europe, then he should be embarrassed. And, the same thing for Clement. We hear him all the time talk about, the European, the money this, the money that, the shots. But when they sneak over the line against Hibs, why is Clement not coming out and saying, well, you know what, we've got the money, so of course we're going to sneak over the line. Of course we're expected to beat Hibs. I mean, these managers, they just want it to be their way. They want their cake and they want to eat it. I mean, you can't complain about finances constantly in Europe, but then not complain and not bring them up in Scotland when you've got like way more finances than everybody else. So disagree with Rodgers there, but it is what it is. Celtic won. Congratulations to them. Feel bad for Ross County. It would have been nice, obviously, for the league and as a neutral to have Aberdeen go top. I think that's what everybody wanted. But of course, in life, you don't get what you want. So it is what it is. Celtic remain top. Up next is Aberdeen versus Hearts. Then it is Rangers versus St Johnstone. So a triple header here of football this weekend. And we'll see what happens in the next 2 games. But hopefully we can get a bit more action. Because today it wasn't a great game, honestly, man. It was a pretty poor showing. So we'll see what happens in the next 2. But yeah, that's it. Celtic win, but Brendan Rodgers coming out saying, oh, we were by far the best team, deserved to win. I don't agree with that whatsoever. If you want to look at the finances, then it was embarrassing that Celtic only won 2-1. They should have won 7-1, according to the finances. So, aye. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Leave a like, leave a comment. And, aye, till next time, peace.